Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at a few charts. We've got the Patreon stream tonight. If you want to join for that, there's a link in the stream. A link to the Patreon in the description below. Right, so at the moment we're looking at Crow, because I always have this anecdotal evidence, which doesn't count for much, which is that Crow often does have a big pump leading into an alt season, which is shortly followed by everybody else. This was off the back of some announcement for Trump Media going to be doing something with Crow. I don't know, sticking Crow up their assholes or something like that. I don't know what they're going to be doing with it, but it was one of those. And we moved right into the resistance. Kissed it on the cheek perfectly, which is basically the previous high over there. Love it. Okay, so the technicals were a sound on this one. We're being rejected exactly where you would expect to see a rejection. However, if we extend this to the next major resistance, which is all the way up here at 37.7 cents, this is easily done because Crow has a series of highs and lows, higher highs and higher lows, and the next higher high is over here. At the moment, based on this weekly, it's a very nice setup, although I would certainly not buy it up here. So I'm lucky in a way because I bought the Crow card and I've been collecting cash back in the form of Crow for over a couple of years now. And I didn't buy the absolute low on this one, but I got relatively low. I got low enough for everything to be, for my life to be really nice this morning. But don't be under any illusion that this is going to break immediately, because the market still looks a little floppy. So there's your Crow situation. This is your Ethereum situation. So Ethereum, moving over to the daily, we're resetting almost completely the money flow index. We're still above all moving averages on the daily, so this can turn around, although it can also drop. Oh my god, that's two opposite directions. How could you say such a thing? That's the truth of it. That's why, based on the 4 hourly, we're getting rejected on the center of a Bollinger Band, but we're also above the 21 exponential. It's a very small and very skinny descending triangle formation, which is looking to break one way or another. Break below, basically 4,559, break above 4,597. So really, a Rizzler paper can get stuck between those two resistance and supports and not have any room to move. So we are looking for this to break in one way or another. Now we've got the money flow index is actually turning up a little bit. The RSI is turning down. We're going to have to knock it down to a 1 hourly to have any further idea. So even the 1 hourly is undecided. It's avoided the death cross on exponentials and simples so far. As long as we're above 4,450 or thereabouts. And we're sort of dancing around the Bollinger Band and the 21 as well. So even the 1 hourly is neither here nor there. The money flow index has gone up. We've got a leading portion of the cloud going green, which might allow for us to move up into 4,800 once again. It might do that. Honestly, it could do that with the new idea that Crow and altcoins, or an altcoin of another form, might even have some value to it after all. It might give a bit more confidence to people wanting to buy Ethereum, or the ETFs even, or the institutions. I know they're sucking it up like it's no tomorrow. I'm guessing because, from a long-term projection, it's similar to how Bitcoin, if Bitcoin holds its value, seems to hold its value relatively, over, what does Michael Saylor say? The best time to buy Bitcoin is always 5 years ago, so don't expect to be consistently profitable until 5 years after buying it. Obviously, that's all relative to where you bought it, but it's a true statement. Ethereum probably has the same idea, but on top of that, Ethereum also has enormous staking rewards. I mean, that's decent. It's like stocks. It's like dividends in stocks, isn't it, really? You don't really get that for Bitcoin. You would get that for Ethereum. Ethereum does have utility, I believe, so I'm told, although it might not be the best. So what we're looking at here is possible up, possible down, depending on how the rest of the market feels. So let's have a look at the rest of the market very quickly. What we're seeing here is a move up on stocks still, despite the bearish divergence across the board. And what we're seeing here on the daily here is bearish divergence that could easily lead to a bit more of a pullback. And the 4 hourly is bearish divergence as well, could easily lead to a pullback. So again, even stocks, not particularly convincing at the moment. Long story short, we could go up, we could go down. It's undecided. It really is, and we'll know more as the day unfolds. Based on stocks, a little pullback before we find another higher low, and then a move up. That seems reasonable. So I would say based on everything that I've seen right now, if I had to assume anything, is that we're going to go down a little bit more before we go up. And that's in keeping with the idea that Bitcoin is sort of finding support around the $108,000 zone, which we talked about briefly on, it might have been yesterday or the day before. There's supports all the way over the place, and that is the center of the Bollinger Band on the weekly. That's where it is, just below $108,000. So a little further down before we find a bounce, and that bounce could easily be the reversal that we were looking and waiting for. Stocks seem to say that it wants to do the same thing. Ethereum could be doing anything. So I think that's probably the most likely outcome. We see a little further move down. Let's just see what the damage would be. If we had to call it in any direction and any size, it would be another 2.5% further down for Bitcoin today, so maybe another 5% down for altcoins, perhaps maybe a little more depending on the altcoin, and then bounce and reversal time. But you know, that remains to be seen. You know, we might as well just quickly look at the Dixie just very briefly. Dixie turning up a little bit, but resistance approaching on the weekly here and here. So even the Dixie looks like it wants to get rejected, doing the opposite basically of Bitcoin, the exact opposite. So yeah, I'll go with that. A little further down and then bounce and reversal. If we lose 108,000 dramatically, then yeah, we're going probably sub 100,000, mid 90s. Mid 90,000s. All right, I'll leave it there. Right, I'll look forward to the stream tonight. Good luck out there, and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.